Hello and welcome to the EliteDuels Fantasy Show. Today we'll be talking about the StarSeries and iLeague Series 7 tournament and all the exciting action that took place in Shanghai.
I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. And gratisfaction, I think, obviously, yeah, you might regret it in hindsight, but, you know, I think it was good for him to put the fan in his place for right now to say, hey, you know, sit down and enjoy the show.
Yes.
All right. So without further ado, we saw the teams qualify for playoffs. Nick, were there any surprises in there that teams maybe not qualifying or that you did qualify?
A few on both sides. I'd say the one was fnatic. I think we all had them, you know, moving on into the playoffs, but to go where they went, making it all the way to the grand finals, right? And on their way there, like, they went into the tournament ranked 15th in the world, which is
15th,
average,
really?
right?
Oh, wow, okay.
And on their way there, you know, they beat Ninjas in Pajamas, who was 6th, NRG, who was 11th, Vitality, who was 10th, and North, who was 9th, right? So it wasn't the easiest path, you know, ranking-wise, getting all the way to the grand finals. And then we saw in the finals, too, like, they lost 3-0, but every one of those games were fairly close, right? I think the furthest one was 16-10, and that was on Inferno, right? Like, the other ones on Dust 2 and Mirage were 3 or 4 round matches, right?
16-11 on Dust 2 and 16-13 on Mirage, yeah.
So, yeah, it was nice to see fnatic kind of taking up that form that we saw, you know, a few years ago, you know, the Swedish Giants. So, you know, hope we see that form continue. Then on the other side, you know, continuing the woeful performance from MIBR and FaZe. Just bad to see. You expect these two giants to, you know, kind of pick on these smaller clubs like Vici and Panda, and it was quite the opposite. You know, neither one of them even qualified. So, yeah, they're continuing their downward spiral, and it's not good to see where their clubs are going.
Yeah, I'm continually sad to see MIBR and FaZe play. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about more in a separate video that we're going to have. I don't want to beat it with a dead horse, like a dead horse, but yeah, is there anything else you want to add on to that, Mark?
Yeah, I'll follow up on the fnatic thing. Definitely a surprise to see them make it all the way to the finals. I mean, they did have a little bit of an easier path. It wasn't, you know, really easy.
They didn't have like Ensor, Navi.
Yeah, I was just say, can I just say it wasn't as hard as Ensor's path?
Yeah, like, they ended up, you know, facing off with North in the first round, who I thought, I personally thought North would have won that match, but they defeat North 2-1. Second, in the semifinals, then they play Vitality, or no, sorry, NRG, right?
NRG, correct, yes.
Yeah, they played NRG. Like I said, I originally picked Navi and Ents for the finals. I expected fnatic to make it out of the round robin, although I wouldn't have been shocked if they didn't, right? Because they just added a couple new pieces with Brolin and Twist. You know, with Dennis taking his leave of absence right now, and I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. Or sorry, that's wrong team. That's with NIP. But regardless, overall, I thought fnatic was really good. One bright spot for fnatic and Swedish CS in general was Brolin.
He looked good.
Brolin is only 16 years old.
Yeah.
He looked like he fit completely with that team. He looked really confident. He made some really smart plays. Again, so much more room to grow. He's only 16 years old. He's just going to continue.
So he looked like a great right now.
Exactly. Like he's already looking like a pro, right? He's already acting and performing like a pro. He's making some really good and quick decisions out there. He averaged 11.7 fantasy points per map, which was extremely good considering how young he is and how big of a tournament this is and how many matches you play, right? The other one, I have to say, he's a veteran on this team. He's been around CS and Pro CS for so long, is Crims. Yeah. I said in the previous video, I always enjoy picking Crims. He's really consistent. He had a fantastic tournament. He finished with 16.2 fantasy points per map, which actually was third best in the entire tournament. So great tournament overall for fnatic and Crims and Brolin. Another kind of bright spot was NRG. Although they didn't really exceed my expectations, I thought as a whole they were impressive, and I look forward to watching them grow as an overall team. They did have two players finish in the top 10 in fantasy points. Ethan finished 4th and Cirque finished 7th. So Ethan had 15.4 average and Cirque finished with 14.3. So two really good bright spots there with NRG. JKS with Renegades. He's been another strong fantasy performer.
Amazing.
He's been a guy that I look at too. Depending on, he's usually in tier 2 or tier 3. He's another guy though that I enjoy picking if I feel Renegades is going to go far. He had a very strong showing. He actually finished 5th overall with 15.31 fantasy points per map. Great overall tournament. And there's a lot of bright stuff and bright things going on in the professional CS scene right now. And a lot of young stars coming in. And you're seeing these young kids come in and they're acting like pros right away. And playing like pros right away. Then, usually you see younger, I guess you could say athletes come in and they'll make a lot of mistakes, right? Which are one of those things where they're not used to it. Probably they're not used to it. It just takes time to
pressure.
It takes time to get some of that confidence, right? Exactly. Build some of that confidence. But like I said, watching Brolin, because we got to see him play a lot, especially in the finals, he fit that team perfectly and he didn't stand out. I thought he looked really well, looked confident. I'm excited to watch him grow and turn into a good CSGO professional and hopefully start drafting him with your fantasy teams, right?
And he's only been playing on fnatic for a few months now. He transferred in January.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, so to only be on the team for 2-3 months and to show like this type of performance is incredibly impressive for someone at that age. Just one more thing for NRG, I thought Breeze had a really good tournament too. We had a few really good rounds. I like what NRG is doing. They got a few really good bright spots on their team, so I look forward to them continuing to improve.
Yeah, and just to touch on, Breeze finished 12th overall in fantasy points per map, so he wasn't in top 10, but pretty much right there, right?
Yeah.
He finished with 13.33 fantasy points per map. So again, it was one of those things, like I said, didn't exceed my expectations. But they played well.
Heading in the right direction.
Yeah, they're heading in the right direction.
Exactly.
Especially for North American Counter-Strike. We've really only spoken about Liquid as the only team that.
That's true. NRG hasn't been on anyone's radar really.
Kind of fell off. Complexities up and down. They have some bright spots and then they fall off. But I thought NRG with the addition of Tarek, I wasn't expecting too much.
They look good though.
But for their first event as a team, they looked really, really good and they looked comfortable, I could say.
I gotta say with with NRG, I've seen in the top 10 too that Cirque is in there on the I believe he's 8th position there, and you know what, I don't believe that. I find it's very, with NRG, they very rely on the maps themselves. I mean, if Cirque didn't have an op in his hands and didn't have like a map like Train or something to really be able to use that op, I really don't think NRG really would have done well at all. But I think that would have taken Cirque right out of the top 10.
I think a good part of it is that they're able to gain those situations, right? Like they're able to take advantage of those situations that they get a lot, right? And I think that you see over time, like a team like Astralis, where they have so many of those maps that they can do that on. NRG just beginning to form this. It starts off with a few maps that they're able to kind of control it, and hopefully you kind of see them, grow out into now. If Cirque has an op on Dust 2, he can light it up there the same as he will light it up on Train, right? So I hope to see that type of growth from them over time.
Yeah, I hope to see it too. With NRG, all I see is they're looking for either Cirque or Breeze to go off, and if that doesn't happen, then NRG is going to have a tough time. Yeah. Because other than that, you're looking at Daps and Tarek. And
Daps,
I mean, they're not really
Daps
performing at all.
No, Daps
but Tarek is nice because he adds a little bit of experience. Going through all the majors with Cloud9, he gets to kind of show those guys what it takes.
He won a major, right? He knows,
exactly.
He knows what it takes
that's true.
to win a big tournament. I think with over time, I'm pretty sure Tarek is their IGL right now. I'm not 100% sure, but usually he is the in-game leader. But over time, he tends to be a little bit higher in fantasy points. So I think, I don't think he had a terrible tournament. I think he had, he finished with 10.6 fantasy points per map. That was his average. So it wasn't terrible. He finished basically in the middle. So it wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. Like, you're not going to, if you draft him in EliteDuels, you're definitely not winning money with him.
No.
But again, it wasn't a terrible performance. And I'm interested to see what happens in the future.
Because teams like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh. And it was, his first tournament, I think, with NRG. Yeah. So, you're gonna see kind of them bonding a little bit more and clicking better as the time goes on, right?
I just want to mention, like, teams like, why I think like Astralis and Renegades are up there right now is because if their top performers aren't performing, those 1-2 players, the other 3 seem to step up and fill in. Whereas NRG, you know, if Breeze and Cirque don't step up, then so I don't know, it's something to consider for your fantasy picks.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I think it's going to be the deciding factor that makes a team go a long way. You know, you need 5 guys constantly participating as a team. You know, to really do well and get you those fantasy points.
Yeah. Obviously, s1mple finished number 1 with 17.89, but
wow, dynamite.
Kind of
we expected that.
You expect that, but finishing second was Nico with 16.67. You would expect him to be there, right? If you look at the past, everything indicates that he should be a top 5 fantasy performer. However, just with the recent downfall in FaZe and how poor their play has been, I honestly didn't expect Nico to have that big of an impact in this tournament. But he played very well and was by far their best player, like not even close.
But that's where the beauty of, you know, tracking per map is, because you look at his total points and you think, oh, he didn't do that well, but it's because they didn't qualify, right, for the playoffs. So you don't get to see him play those extra maps, whereas, you know, the 16 fantasy points per map really highlights just how dominant he was in the games they did play.
Exactly. Like, his team is doing terrible and he's still popping off.
Yeah.
That's a player you want to pick.
Here's an interesting stat. So Nico finished, obviously he had 16.67 fantasy points per map.
Yeah.
He finished with 200 total fantasy points, right? Yeah. Listen to this though. JKS, who made it to the quarterfinals, right? Renegades made it to the quarterfinals. Yeah. Had a lower fantasy points per map. I think he played 2 or 3 more maps than Nico, and had 1 less fantasy point.
Exactly.
That's insane.
Nico actually had more fantasy points.
It's insane to think about.
You have to imagine, if they would have made it to the finals, he probably could have matched toe-to-toe with s1mple. On the pace that he was going, he could have, you know, he went off in a few maps, his points per map goes up, and he's on the same level as Nico in this tournament.
I mean, s1mple had 140 more fantasy points, but he played way more CS.
Exactly.
He played three extra matches, and probably 6 or 7 total maps. More, maybe even more than Nico. So
and you get the opportunity for overtime too and whatnot.
Exactly. Again, though, just showing the potential of how well Nico played this tournament was extraordinary.
That's your definition of a star player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You expect it though. It's Nico.
That's true.
Yeah, he's a star.
Let's just get him off a FaZe clan. And so with the grand finals, obviously we saw a nice little sweeperoo there. Is there anything you guys want to mention about the grand finals? Anything in particular?
I think you saw the difference between a top 5 team and a top 10 team. Yeah. Right? I mean, we mentioned before fnatic.
Absolutely.
They're not even top 10, but you said they're 15th right now?
Yeah. No.
12 now.
They're 12. They're 12 now.
They went up 3 from that?
Yeah.
So they still haven't even cracked the top 10. But again, what you saw is the difference, right? fnatic, when you look at them, like, Crims is a very good player, but they don't really have a difference maker yet. They don't have a guy that's going to go and can win a clutch, 3v1 or 4v1 round. You look at the best teams in the world have not only 1 player, they usually have 2 or 3 players that have that ability, right? You look at Navi, s1mple, and Electronic. You expect them when it's a 3v1, you're on your toes and you're going, okay, something could happen here. Make sure you watch. But when you look at fnatic, maybe a couple years ago, you would have liked a guy like JW. Maybe he's somebody who could have performed and done something like that. But overall, in this tournament and in these matches against Navi, that looks like it was the difference maker. Navi had the game changers. fnatic didn't. Although they did hang in and put up a good fight, they did put up some rounds. In my opinion, that was the big difference between the 2 teams.
Yeah, I said you hit it on the nail right there. I said, they were fnatic was just trying to keep up with Navi and their level of play. Unfortunately, they weren't able to, but they put up a great show for what they did. I mean,
Mirage was good.
Mirage was good.
They had a good showing. That was close on Mirage.
I mean, so I would say that the competition was there every game. They didn't have one blowout of a game.
Yeah, even Inferno was their worst map, and they won 10 rounds. Right? They took 10, which is impressive enough against a team like Navi. But just to highlight that, for fnatic, they only had 1 guy that had a KD over 1. Where Navi had 4. Over 1.0, and Electronic, s1mple, and flamie all had over 40 fantasy points, and Crims was the only one that had over 40 fantasy points on that.
Was that JW over?
I believe only Crims was.
Only Crims, eh?
Yeah, Crims was the only guy in that round.
Only one with a positive kill death ratio.
Yeah.
So you kind of see like the depth of a top 5 team where you can have, if Electronic and s1mple don't go off, Flamey can take over the game, right? Where he actually had the most fantasy points, whereas
in the finals it was Flamey.
It was all Flamey.
Yeah, I mean, Flamey won. He played extremely well. I mean, how many points did he have?
48 fantasy points.
48 fantasy points.
Well, and s1mple had that.
s1mple had 47.5, and Electronic had 40.5.
He had that dynamite op play with Enzo. That was insane.
That was so
that
crazy.
that pretty much like corralled them to where they are to get to the champion stage. I would say.
Right now, if you're looking for amazing highlights and highlight reel plays, he is the guy.
Oh yeah,
like, he is literally a human highlight when you watch him play. He's looking to make those plays. I don't even know if he's looking to make those plays rather than he just incorporates those types of plays into his game.
Honestly, I think it's just his game sense, you know, how he plays the game. He knows what the other guys, what the enemy is thinking, and he can play so well with his team so that he knows he's covered on certain angles. So he knows when he can, you know, kind of let himself out there, you know, like say like put himself out there, risk. He can play risky.
More freely, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about making the mistakes. You
can
take those chances.
Yeah,
you see that in a lot of sports.
And he's got the teammate cover up.
Exactly, the top players have the ability to play with more confidence. They can try new things. Like you saw it against fnatic in the finals and Inferno. In the smoke, it was a jungle smoke. I'm not sure. I think it was Twist had jumped through the window. They did a window boost. s1mple saw his leg. Hit him with the scope, a quick scope the first time.
Yeah.
Most people are going to go, okay, I hit him. I saw him hit him in the leg. I legged him. I know he's one shot, basically. And they're going to take their pistol out. And even though you can't see, you're just going to fire it throughout the smoke and hopefully hit him. He doesn't switch. He stays on the op and takes a no-scope shot and hits him.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of confidence you have to do that. Again, 99% of the players are taking out their pistol and taking shots.
They want to make that safe play.
That's a safe play. You're most likely going to get that kill.
Yeah.
He just uses the op like a shotgun.
Yeah.
And takes him out for like point blank. It was unbelievable.
s1mple will make that safe play and will make it in style.
Yeah. He's fun to watch. Like I said, he's the human highlight reel right now, and it's crazy some of the stuff he pulls off. But and he's still so young. Like he's only 21 or 22.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
But that's the nice thing when you have teammates like Electronic, Flame, even Zeus. You can make those plays because you know they're there to bail you out, right? You got someone who's got the skill that you have, like Electronic, who some people put on the same level as s1mple. He knows that I can make these plays, and I have Electronic and Flamey there to back me up, right?
Right.
That's the beautiful thing of it.
Yeah,
exactly. And then fnatic, I feel like they just have trouble putting up with that.
Yeah.
All 5 guys are there to participate.
They had no response. They had no answer for the top plays that you saw from Flamey, Electronic, and s1mple. There's just nothing there.
You shut one of them down, the other two
exactly.
go off, right?
Crims or Crims or JW. Basically, as soon as one of them was shot down, it was a Na'Vi round.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the clutches for a lot of the map. It's you see a lot of Electronic, s1mple, Flamey, and the only one for fnatic is JW.
Yeah.
So we only had some kind of like
the main guys you expect to be there, right?
Yeah.
That's the game changers, in my opinion.
Yeah, but still, I mean, congratulations to fnatic, for stepping up to the show, especially in this 16 team tournament. You know, this was the stage for them to really shine, and they did. They came out to do that. So, I'm impressed with them. Navi, congratulations. We kind of expected them to see them in the top tier ladder, so it's good. It's good to see them there.
We overall, think all 3 of us had picked them to be in the finals. I think
we did, eh?
Yeah, we all had Navi.
I had Ents and Navi, eh? We all had Ents and Navi?
Yeah.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah. Well, we were all saying it was a 2-team tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Which it really was supposed to be. But
we saw a lot of teams kind of, break that up a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. It was great to see Renegades. Renegades put on a great fight. It was great to see them participate throughout the entire tournament. Their bracket was a little bit easier too compared to other brackets. Yeah. I'm a little bit jaded about how some of that seeding happened. Just like, the big one was the Navi and Ents first round of the playoffs. That was not fun to see.
And now you really see the importance of making sure if you're a top team going 3-0 in the round robin, right? So
really.
Navi Ents finished 3-1 when they did the seeding for the playoffs. They ended up pulling each other, right? So again, it's It's unfortunate that they played in the first round, but that's why you got to make sure you come to play in the round robin and win those games, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was a big thing that that Navi said in their interviews when they were talking with Frankie a lot. They were saying, like, oh yeah, we're going to be here to do, you know, all the teams are we able to participate. Sorry, what were you saying before? What did you just lead off onto? You just gave me a great point. I just lost it.
I don't know.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know. I was thinking of my own point.
We're all thinking of our next
I
points.
was talking about the matchup between ENCE and Navi and how important it is to go 3-0 and not drop the map.
Right. So in the interviews, Navi was saying when they were interviewed with Frankie was saying like, oh, you guys scared of anyone in the tournament? And I said, well, you know, we're afraid of everybody in this tournament. Everyone's here to compete. And, you know, I don't think ENCE had that similar attitude. If it was you know, kind of a lesser team, they would kind of take it a little bit easier. But and I feel like I kind of saw that in the playoffs.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, everyone's a professional there, right? You're all playing for money, so you can't underestimate anyone, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that this tournament was nice. It was a good platform for lesser-known teams to kind of put themselves on the radar for the casual fan, right? I think that, you know, the casual fan who doesn't know about Renegades or Fnatic, who just started watching, this is a good tournament to kind of put themselves on the scene and, you know, gain some fans with good performances.
Yeah. I gotta say, Spirit, little golf clap. Spirit, you did good.
Panda.
I think you did well. Panda, you did well too. Don't worry, we didn't forget you guys. You guys did great.
Peachy beat Navi.
Yeah, it was great to see them.
They did beat Navi. Yeah, you
They did.
Say,
you
said they were going to get pounded. Sorry. You absolutely said you're like...
Yeah, I thought
we should go back and check the clip. You said Vici not even going to be close.
I thought Vici was going to get absolutely destroyed. So sorry.
Right after the game, you texted us that it made me eat my words. Don't worry, he felt bad for that. He felt bad.
They made you eat your words, that's for sure.
Yeah, but overall, great grand final. Great tournament. I love the 16-team tournament. Excited, though, to get to the Blast Pro Series.
Yep.
Any closing remarks from you, gentlemen?
No, great tournament. I think we touched on everything we had to do and touch on. Congratulations, Navi.
Congratulations.
Extremely well.
Enjoy the money, get some rest and relaxation.
Yeah, but they're heading right to Miami.
As much as you can. You're probably on the bus to the plane already.
Yeah. So
hopefully the weather will be nice when you guys get there in Miami.
Yeah, great tournament. Had a lot of fun watching. Late nights. Time to catch up on some sleep this week.
Yeah.
And then enjoy Blast Pro and some more CS coming up.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to switch back to Eastern Central Time. That'll be nice. But thank you, Shanghai. It was fun.
This is EliteDuels, the world's first skill-based daily fantasy esports contest. Pick your team, play daily, win cash. With multiple daily contest types across your favorite games, manage your team by selecting from the highest rated Tier 1 players to the Tier 5 dark horses. You'll earn 1 point for every kill, half a point for every assist, but lose half a point for every death. Cheer on your team and watch them earn points as they play. Win real cash you can withdraw in seconds. Being an esports champ has never been easier. EliteDuels, bringing fun and excitement from fantasy sports to professional esports.